In a world that begs for your reaction, the most powerful move is to give them nothing. This story reveals the secret to using silence and stillness to become truly untouchable. To master this kind of inner strength, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. We live in a world where it feels like everyone wants a reaction from you. They might insult you because they want to feel in control of you. They might ignore you because they want to break your spirit. Sometimes people spread lies just to watch you fall apart. And most people, they react. They react instantly, emotionally, and loudly. And when they do that, they lose their peace. They lose their control. They lose their power. The sad truth is that most of us don't even realize how much of our own lives we are destroying with our own reactions. Think about it. That one argument that ruined a beautiful friendship. That one text message sent in anger that ended a loving relationship. That one moment of feeling hurt that changed everything forever. So today, I am asking you to slow down with me. I'm asking you to listen carefully. Because if you can truly understand what I am about to share with you, you will become the kind of person who doesn't just survive the world. You will become the kind of person who becomes untouchable. You will be calm, strong, focused, and peaceful. Not because the world suddenly becomes easy, but because you will no longer let the world control your mind. This video is not just for people who want to be successful in their work. This is for people who are tired of being broken by their own emotions. This is for the people who are ready to finally take their power back. And I promise you this. If you stay with me until the very end, you will understand a kind of strength that most people never learn in their entire life. This story is not just for motivation. It also helps you build a powerful understanding of English. Every word is simple. Every sentence is designed to teach you strength and clarity. It's not just about speaking better, it's about thinking better. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Reacting means they control you. When someone can push a button and make you feel angry, when someone can say just one sentence and your whole mood changes, when you allow their insult, their silence, or their opinion to shake you, you are no longer in control of your own life. You are being controlled like a puppet on a string. And the strings are your own emotions. People often think that reacting quickly means they are strong, that it shows they are passionate or honest. But reacting fast doesn't mean you are powerful. It means you are easy to manipulate. Every single time you react without thinking, you give away something precious. You give away your peace. You give away your energy. You give away your power. Now take a moment and think about this. How many moments in your life were destroyed simply because you reacted too fast? How many times did you scream at someone you loved, and then hours later you felt that deep ache of regret? How many times did you reply to a message with anger in your heart, and then wished you could just reach into the phone and unsend it? This is what emotional slavery looks like. You may not be wearing chains on your hands, but your emotions are being controlled by the world around you. And maybe the worst part is that you don't even realize it's happening. For example, there was once a young man who worked in an office. He was a very hard worker. He often stayed late, he followed every rule, and he did his job well. But one day, during a very important team meeting, his manager criticized him in front of everyone. The criticism wasn't fair, and it wasn't even true. And in that moment, the young man just exploded. He shouted. He argued. He tried to defend himself right there in front of all his colleagues. A heavy silence fell over the room. The air became tense and uncomfortable. Later, the manager just calmly walked away, leaving the young man standing there, shaking with anger. From that day on, he became known as the emotional guy, not the hard-working one, not the intelligent one. His one single reaction destroyed the professional image he had built over so many years. He didn't win that day. He lost. He lost because he let someone else control how he responded. The solution to this is the 5-second rule. It's a rule that can change everything. Here is what strong people do. They pause. The next time someone disrespects you, the next time someone lies about you, yells at you, ignores you, or insults you, don't speak. Don't move your body. Don't react. Just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Do this for just 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, you take back the one thing that nobody else should ever have your control. Because when you pause, something almost magical happens. The big, hot emotion starts to fade. The fire inside starts to calm down. And your brain, your thinking mind, starts to work instead of burn. You can still respond later if you need to. But now, your words will be strong, not foolish. Your actions will be wise, not emotional. This one simple habit, this little pause, will change your entire life. In your relationships, in your work, in arguments, in family drama, in everything. Because when you don't react, you are not weak. You are powerful. You are untouchable. You are free. Lesson 2. Most reactions become regrets. There are moments in life that we wish we could go back to and just erase. One message we sent. One word we shouted. One decision we made when we were feeling angry or afraid. A decision made without thinking. And those are the moments we carry with us for years. You see, you don't carry the insult that someone gave you. You carry the way you reacted to it. You don't carry the memory of the failure. You carry the memory of how you broke down when it happened. You don't carry the problem. You carry your emotional reaction to the problem. People think that reacting quickly means you are being real or honest. But in truth, our fastest reactions often come from our deepest pain, not from our greatest power. Reacting is what we do when we are just trying to survive a moment, not when we are trying to grow from it. We scream when we feel small. We blame others when we feel weak. We fight when we feel hurt. But once that moment is gone, what is left behind? Usually, it's guilt. Shame, regret. We start thinking to ourselves, I should have just stayed quiet. I should have taken a moment. I should have just let it go. But by then, it is often too late. Because reactions, once they are made, can't be deleted. Words spoken in anger don't just go away. Actions taken in haste don't disappear. And people don't easily forget. Think about your own life. How many people have you pushed away because you reacted too quickly? How many arguments could have been completely avoided? How many relationships could have been saved? How many peaceful, happy days did you ruin just because you allowed one bad moment to control your entire day? And here is the most painful truth sometimes. You don't even realize what you have lost until it's far too late to fix it. There was a woman who loved her younger sister very, very deeply. They were so close, like best friends. But one day during a big family gathering, the sister made a sarcastic comment. It was about something sensitive, something that touched an old wound inside the woman's heart. In that instant, the woman exploded. She shouted in front of the entire family. She said words she could never take back. Words that weren't even really true, just full of old pain and buried emotions that came rushing out. The family just stood there in shocked silence. The younger sister, with tears in her eyes, turned and left the house. Days passed. Then weeks passed. But the relationship never went back to how it was. Years later, that woman would often look at an old photo of the two of them together, and she would cry. Not because of what her sister said that day, but because of how she herself reacted. One moment. One reaction. A lifetime of regret. This is such a difficult part of life, isn't it? That feeling of regret can be so heavy. I'm curious, and I would love to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation like that where you wish you could go back and respond differently, especially with someone you love? What did you learn from it? Please share your thoughts and your own stories in the comments below. Your experience could really help someone else who is listening right now. The solution is to train yourself to respond, not to react. This is a mindset. It's like a muscle that you need to exercise every day. It's a daily discipline. When something painful happens, you must practice this one sentence in your mind. This emotion is real, but this reaction is a choice. Yes, you feel hurt. Yes, what happened is unfair. Yes, you want to scream. But don't. Instead, pause. Close your mouth. Make your body still. Let the emotion rise up inside you, but don't move. Just feel it. Allow yourself to feel the anger, the sadness, or the fear, but feel it only in silence. Give it a name. Ask yourself this question: am I reacting to this present moment, or am I reacting to something old? Some old pain that still lives inside me. Wait 10 minutes, or 1 hour, or even a whole day. Then and only then respond. Respond with truth. Respond with calm. Respond with power. This one habit can save your relationships. It can save your peace. It can save your future. Because reacting might feel strong in the moment, but peace is always stronger. And peace never ever creates regret. Lesson 3. Silence is a superpower. The world we live in loves noise. People are constantly talking, arguing, explaining, and justifying themselves. Everyone is trying to prove that they are right. Everyone is trying to win. Everyone is trying to look strong. But here is a truth that you will not hear in most videos. The strongest people are not the loudest ones. They are the quiet ones, the ones who do not need to speak to prove anything at all. You see, silence is often misunderstood. People think that silence is a sign of weakness. They think that if you are quiet, you must be scared. That if you walk away from a fight, you must be afraid. But the truth is the complete opposite. It takes much more strength to stay calm than it does to shout. It takes much more wisdom to walk away from an argument than it does to win it. It takes much more power to say nothing when every part of you wants to fight. Silence is control. Silence is focus. Silence is dignity. Because when you stay silent, people don't know what you are thinking. They don't know what your next move will be. They don't know if they have hurt you or if somehow you have already won. And that mystery is power. For example, there was a man who was publicly humiliated on social media by his former friend. The friend posted fake stories, twisted screenshots. It was a pure character assassination. Everyone who saw it expected the man to fight back. Everyone waited for him to post his side of the story, to go live on video, to reply to the accusations. But he didn't. He said absolutely nothing. At first, people called him weak. They called him a coward. Some even said his silence meant he was guilty, but he stayed silent. About 6 months later, the truth came out. The friend who had told all the lies was exposed by someone else entirely, and suddenly the man's silence was seen in a new light. It was now seen as dignity, as class, as incredible strength. Because while other people were screaming and fighting, he was winning, quietly. The idea that you don't have to fight every battle is a powerful one. It's a message of true strength. If this idea of using silence as a power is something that feels important to you, maybe think about sharing this story with someone you know, someone who might need to hear that it's okay to be quiet, to be calm, and to walk away. The solution is to learn to use silence as a weapon, not as a weakness. You do not need to respond to every insult. You do not need to explain yourself to people who have already made up their minds about you. You do not need to post or message or defend or fight for your own dignity. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to say nothing at all. Here is how you can use silence as a form of power. In a conflict, you can simply say, "I understand," and then you walk away. Don't argue. Let their own angry words burn them. In moments of drama, don't join the noise. Take a step back. Let the truth rise to the surface by itself. And when you are disrespected, don't shout. Don't cry. Don't explain yourself. Just look them directly in the eyes and say nothing. People will notice, and when they do, you win. Not by reacting, but by rising above. Lesson 4. Not everything deserves your energy. One of the greatest mistakes that you can make in your life is trying to fight every single battle, defending yourself in every argument, proving your worth to every critic, responding to every message, every insult, every misunderstanding. It might sound brave to do all of that, but in reality, it is how you destroy your own energy. It's how you lose your peace, your focus, and your future. Because here is something you must understand: not everything is worth your time. Not everyone deserves a reaction from you. Not every problem needs your emotional investment. You have a limited amount of energy in a day. And every time you give that energy to the wrong person or the wrong problem, you have less of it left for the right things. If you give your energy to gossip, you lose energy for your goals. If you give your energy to hate, you lose energy for love. You give your energy to things that drain you, and then you wonder why you feel so empty. Some people want your reaction not because they care about you, but because it feeds their own ego to see you disturbed, broken, or triggered. They don't want peace, they want drama, and if you keep stepping into their world of drama, you will never have the energy to build your own world of peace. For example, there was a college student. She was bright, disciplined, and very focused. She used to stay up late to study hard, and she had big dreams for her future. But one day, someone in her class spread lies about her. They said she cheated on an important test. Soon, her name was being whispered in the hallways. People started looking at her differently. Some of her friends even stopped talking to her. She was so angry and hurt. She wrote long posts online trying to explain herself to everyone. She cried at night, wondering why nobody believed her side of the story. Weeks passed. She lost her focus. She stopped studying. She stopped dreaming. She became bitter and sad, all because she gave all her precious energy to something that she should have just walked away from. She could have said nothing. She could have let her hard work and her good grades speak for themselves. But instead, she gave away her energy to people who never deserved it. Years later, she said something truly heartbreaking. She said, "I didn't lose because of what they said about me. I lost because I tried to fix something that didn't matter." The solution is to learn to protect your energy like it is gold. Here is what you must do. Create a list in your mind. Ask yourself, what deserves my energy today? If something is not on that list, you must walk away from it. Don't fight small battles. You are not here on this earth to win arguments. You are here to win at your own life. Stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. If they have already judged you, your words will not change their minds. Respond only where growth is possible. If a conversation is not going to help you rise, then it is a trap. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. You do not have to show up for every fight you are invited to. Because peace is not found in winning every battle. Peace is found in knowing which battles are not worth fighting at all. Lesson 5. The one who stays calm wins. The world respects people who can stay calm when everything around them is falling apart. Calm people are trusted. Calm people are respected. Calm people make better decisions, they build better relationships, and they live stronger lives. Why is this? It's because when you stay calm, you keep your power. When you stay calm, you can see situations clearly. When you stay calm, you become the leader in every room, even if you don't say a single word. Most people live like storms. They shout, they panic, they cry, they blame, they react. They lose control, and then they wonder why nothing in their life works out. But the person who stays calm, they become the storm's opposite. They become the stillness that scares the storm away. Calmness doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It means you have learned to hold your pain with strength, not with panic. For example, there was once a man on a crowded train. Suddenly, another man entered the train car. He was drunk and angry, pushing people and shouting wild, confusing things. Everyone on the train became tense. Some people shouted back at him. Some people moved away, afraid. Some started recording him with their phones. But one old man sitting quietly in his seat remained perfectly still. He was calm. He was unshaken. The angry man approached him, ready for a fight. The old man looked him directly in the eyes and said very calmly, "Whatever happened to you today, my friend, I am sorry that it brought you to this point." The drunk man stopped. His hands, which were clenched into fists, fell to his sides. His angry eyes softened. He sat down on the floor and began to cry. The entire train was silent. Because one calm man had changed the energy of the entire room. He didn't react. He didn't fight. He understood something that the others didn't. He knew, this is not about me. That is what calm people know. They know that not every storm on the outside has to become a storm on the inside. Learning this kind of inner calmness is maybe one of the most important skills we can develop. It protects our peace and our future. If you want to continue learning how to build this kind of untouchable strength, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We explore stories like this all the time to help you become stronger, calmer, and more peaceful. Don't miss what's coming next. The solution is to build the discipline of calmness. Calmness is not natural for most of us. You have to train for it like a warrior trains for a battle. Here is how you can start. Breathe deeply and do it often. Breathing is not just a habit, it is a weapon. When your body is calm, your mind will listen. Observe a situation before you speak. Let people show you who they are. Let a situation unfold. Then you can respond with a strategy, not with raw emotion. Detach emotionally before you act. Ask yourself this powerful question: am I acting from a place of truth or from a place of pain? If the answer is pain, wait. If the answer is truth, you can proceed. Practice calmness in small, everyday things. Spilled coffee. A delayed train. A rude message on your phone. These are not annoyances. These are your training sessions. The more you practice staying calm in the small storms of life, the more ready you will be when life throws the big ones at you. Remember, anyone can scream. Anyone can cry. Anyone can panic. But the one who can sit in the middle of a fire and still see clearly, still speak gently, and still move wisely, that is the person who wins. Because life always follows the calm mind, not the loud one. Lesson 6. Reaction is habit. Response is power. Most people don't realize this simple fact. They are not reacting because they are angry in that specific moment. They are reacting because they have always reacted. Reacting has become their habit. It's automatic. It's emotional. It is no longer a choice. And when something becomes a habit, you stop questioning it. You just do it. Someone disrespects you, so you fight back. Someone ignores you, so you cry. Someone cuts you off in traffic, so you scream. You don't stop to ask yourself, do I really need to react to this? You just react, because that is what you have always done. But here is a powerful truth. A reaction is automatic, but a response is intentional. And only one of them leads to a life of peace, success, respect, and power. Let's understand the difference. A reaction is fast, emotional, and uncontrolled. It usually comes from a wounded place deep inside you. A response, on the other hand, is so calm, clear, and conscious. It comes from a powerful place inside you. The person who reacts is like a volcano, loud, wild, and destructive. But the person who responds is like the ocean, deep, steady, and untouchable. You must ask yourself today, am I reacting like a machine, or am I responding like a master? Because those who learn to respond are the ones who rule their own lives. Those who only react are ruled by their emotions. For example, there was once a young man who worked as a waiter in a very busy restaurant. He was kind, focused, and always respectful to customers. One evening, a rich customer walked in. He was rude and entitled. He clicked his fingers to get attention, he snapped his orders, and finally, when his food was a little delayed, he shouted across the entire room, "Are you deaf, stupid, or just lazy?" The entire restaurant froze. Everyone expected the young waiter to fight back, to react, to defend himself. But he didn't. He looked at the angry man. He smiled a gentle smile, and he said with a calm, steady voice, "Sir, I am doing my very best. If that is not enough for you today, I understand. But I will continue to serve you with respect, because that is who I am." The room went completely silent. The customer who had walked in looking so powerful looked very small. The waiter who had seemed powerless just a moment before now stood there looking tall and dignified. The manager of the restaurant watched the whole thing happen, and he offered that young man a promotion that very same night. Why? Because the young man had learned something that most people never do. Reaction is an instinct. A response is wisdom. Now there is a deep reason why we react. We often react when we are unaware of our old wounds. If you were always ignored when you were a child, you will probably overreact to being ignored as an adult. If you were once humiliated in your past, you will likely overreact to any small sign of disrespect now. If you were once abandoned, you might overreact to any feeling of distance in a relationship. And so, reacting is often not about the person in front of you. It's about the pain inside of you that was never healed. And until you understand that you will keep reacting to things that don't deserve your pain, you will keep giving your peace away to situations that don't deserve your attention. The solution is to turn your reaction into awareness, and then turn that awareness into a response. You can break the habit. You can reprogram your mind. Here is how. First, pause before everything. Even if it's just for one single breath, take it. Break the automatic chain of reaction. That one breath creates a little bit of space, and in that space is where your power lives. Second, ask yourself one question. Is this feeling about now, or is it about something old? Many times, the strong emotion you are feeling is not really about the present moment. It's a memory, a wound, a trigger from your past. Awareness is how you take your control back. Finally respond with truth, not with emotion. Truth is strong. Emotion is unstable. Speak only when your truth is clear and your heart is calm. Practice responding every single day, even in small things. Train yourself when you get cut off in traffic. Train yourself when your friend forgets to text you back. Train yourself when life feels unfair. Each moment is practice. Each breath is a chance to become stronger. The world does not need more reactors. It needs more responders. Because the people who stay calm, the people who choose awareness over anger, the people who think before they speak and feel before they act, those are the ones who rise. Those are the ones who lead. Those are the ones who are remembered not for their noise, but for their grace. And now the question belongs to you. Will you keep reacting from the pain of your past? Or will you start responding from the strength of your future? Lesson 7. If you want peace, let go of ego. There is a reason why people suffer so much, often in silence. It's not always because of pain. It's not always because of fear. It's not even always because of other people. Most of the time, we suffer because of our ego. The ego is that silent, invisible voice inside our heads that says things like, "They should have treated me better. I need to prove that I was right. I deserve more respect than this. They don't see my value, and that hurts me. I cannot let them win." And so you react. You respond. You fight. You explain. Not because it is necessary, but because your ego is burning for attention. What you may not realize is that your ego is not your power. Your ego is your prison. It is the reason you stay stuck in anger, bitterness, and a lack of freedom. The ego wants to be seen, to be loved, admired, respected, and praised all the time. But when the world does not give you those things, and it often won't, the ego panics. And when the ego panics, you react. You shout in the middle of an argument because your ego says, "They can't talk to me like that." You reply to a hateful comment online because your ego says, "They don't know who I am." You explain your side of the story in every single fight because your ego says, "I must defend myself." But here is the truth that nobody wants to hear you. Do not need to defend what is already real. You do not need to prove what already exists. And you do not need to be loud to be right. The moment you are able to drop your ego, you will rise. Because the ego lives in a world of pain, but your true soul lives in a world of peace. For example, there was a man who spent years working for a company. He gave it everything he had, his time, his health, his loyalty. But one day, without any warning, the company replaced him. There was no apology, no thank you, no gratitude. Nothing. He was filled with rage. His ego screamed inside him, "How could they do this to me? Don't they know who I am? I gave them everything." He wanted to go public. He wanted to expose the company online. He wanted to get revenge. But before he did anything, he spoke to his grandmother. She was a woman who had lived through wars, betrayals, and poverty, and yet she still carried a deep sense of peace in her eyes. She listened to him, and then she said, "My child, listen to me carefully. You don't heal by proving that other people are wrong. You heal by proving to yourself that their actions will not control your future." Those words changed him forever. He didn't fight. He didn't attack. He walked away in silence with his dignity and with a newfound clarity. 6 months later, he started his own small company. He worked quietly and consistently. Years later, he was more successful than the very people who had betrayed him. He won because he let go of his ego and held on to his peace. Your ego makes you react because your ego is loud. It cannot accept disrespect. It cannot tolerate rejection. It cannot survive in silence. And so every time someone challenges your worth, every time someone forgets your value, every time someone walks away without an explanation, your ego explodes. But here is the danger. Your ego wants revenge, but your soul wants freedom. If you keep choosing your ego, you will keep losing your peace. You will react to every comment. You will argue with every fool. You will destroy your relationships just to win temporary wars. But when the war is over, you will be all alone with your ego and without your peace. The solution is to kill the ego and choose peace every single time. This is the most important part of our journey today. You cannot master your emotions if you do not confront your own ego. You must catch that voice. The moment you feel the urge to prove something, to fight, to attack, or to explain, just pause. Ask yourself, is this my soul speaking, or is this my ego screaming? Let people be wrong about you. This is very hard, but it is also very powerful. Not everyone in the world deserves access to your truth. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. You do not owe everyone a version of yourself that makes them feel comfortable. Stop fighting just to be right. The need to be right is often the reason we stay stuck in the wrong kind of energy. Ask yourself, what is more important to me right now, being right or being at peace? Choose silence where your ego wants to scream. The next time someone disrespects you and you feel that fire rising inside your chest, just breathe. Maybe smile and walk away. Not because you are weak, but because you are no longer ruled by something as fragile as an ego. Remember, your worth is not a debate. You don't need to react to prove it. You don't need to speak to protect it. You just need to live it with calmness, with clarity, and with a quiet confidence. When you finally let go of your ego, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing validation from others. You stop reacting to all the noise. You stop feeling the need to prove your worth. And for the first time in a long time, you feel light. You feel free. You feel unshakable. Because peace doesn't live in the loud places. It lives in the still, in the calm, in the quiet heart that no longer needs to win every argument. That is the kind of strength that most people never find. But you just did. Now you must choose it. Not just once, not just twice, but every single day. Because the less you need to react, the more power you truly have. And the less ego you carry, the more peace you will feel forever. And that is where our story for today concludes. Now you know the truth. You don't need to react to everything. You don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to prove your worth to people who never saw it in the first place. You don't need to carry all the noise, the drama, and the pain just because the world throws it at you. You are more than your reactions. You are more than your anger. You are more than the storms that come and go. You are calm. You are deep. You are steady. And now you are free. From this moment forward, may you never lose your peace again. Not for anything, and not for anyone. May your silence become your strength. May your calmness become your confidence. May your wisdom become your way of life. And whenever the world tries to pull you back into its chaos, just pause. Breathe. And remember who you are. You don't belong in the noise. You were born for something greater. For peace, for purpose, and for quiet power. So stay still, stay true, and keep rising silently. Because sometimes the loudest thing you can ever say is nothing at all. This one was a real journey. I am so curious to hear your take on it all. What were your final thoughts? Do you have any lingering questions about why a character did what they did, or about any of the lessons we talked about? Please leave all your opinions, your theories, and your questions below. I truly love reading them and building this conversation with all of you. Thank you for watching. I'm proud of you for spending this time on yourself. And from my heart to yours, may you be blessed with strength, with peace, and with a life that no reaction can ever destroy. Take care of your mind. Protect your soul. And never forget you are not weak for staying calm. You are powerful beyond words. Until next time, stay strong, stay silent, and stay free.